Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Office Bloke Aidan.
Here we are, Office Bloke Daz Sports Edition, talking something that we know loads about.
Yep.
Soccer! Yeah.
I still don't call it that though, mate.
No, we call it, I had this conversation with Mike and we watched Soccer AM. We watched Soccer Saturday.
Yeah. What's your point?
We do call it soccer.
We don't.
I don't say I'm going to the soccer.
They're like shows.
I say I'm going to football.
I know.
Yeah.
You never say soccer.
No, I don't. You're right. But I'm saying we watch Soccer AM and Soccer Saturday. Anyway, we're going to touch on the 2026 FIFA World Cup schedule and venues. I don't know how much it's going to go in depth. It's only a short video. But we touched on some of the venues once before in a previous video. Whether they've been confirmed as venues, I'm not 100% sure. But we will be coming over to the USA, Canada or Mexico to watch the World Cup. I for sure will be definitely coming. I'm sure you'll be tagging along.
Yeah, I'll do that.
It's something that's on my bucket list, and I've been waiting for the right venues. And I always said if it's the USA, we didn't qualify last time when it was held in the USA.
Really?
94 was it last time in the USA?
I don't know.
USA
I wasn't
94.
alive.
And we didn't qualify. So Ireland qualified, but we didn't. So I didn't.
But the island.
I had no interest in it.
Yeah.
So I think we're not in it. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
It's simple. It's only one team of support, and that's it. Cheer along. You've got a couple of teams you could go for with the USA. Obviously being born there.
Yeah.
But let's see what this has got to say about the 2026 FIFA World Cup schedule and venues, and see if we can plan which stadium we want to go to. Obviously the final, we know the final is going to be in New Jersey. We've got roots in New Jersey, having lived there for 10 years, so we know people there who could host us, and we can do all that good stuff over there.
Yeah.
That's if we make it to the final.
Would you still want to go to the final though, even if it's not?
I'd love to go to a World Cup final, but I don't want to take someone else's ticket. That's my biggest beef. I don't want to take it if it's Brazil v say Argentina, right? Just as name for whatever sake. I don't want to take a Brazilian or an Argentinian's ticket. I'd rather they go.
Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't. I'd rather watch that on TV. I mean, I'd love to be there, but it's taking someone else's ticket, and I'm not keen on that. It's not. It's not something I should be doing.
Yeah,
in my mind.
Fair enough.
Get ready for the greatest FIFA World Cup ever. 2026 is set to be the most exciting and inclusive FIFA World Cup of all time. 3 host countries, 16 host cities, 48 teams, never
Go back to them.
countries, 16 host.
Right.
Did you say 60?
16. 1,
16.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 16. So where would you, out of all them, where are you thinking? See, if you station yourself in New Jersey, you're close enough to Boston and Philly. You've got both. You've got both the options.
You can
And
go
it's probably
to
the
San
same.
Fran. Sorry, if you go to like Seattle, you can go to Vancouver as well.
It's 2 different countries though, crossing the border.
Yeah, what's the problem with that?
No problem. But I'm saying it's. But I think the other one is.
I'd want to go to Miami probably.
Yeah, because the weather's going to be nice wherever you go, pretty much. Because it's going to be
Let's
summer.
go to Guadalajara.
Guadalajara. I'd love to. That's one place I'd love to go. Guadalajara. It's,
we'll probably.
is it the Aztec? Is the Aztec
I don't know.
Stadium?
I'll go to any of them.
Where's the Aztec Stadium? Is that Guadalajara?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. Same, but it's the atmosphere in Mexico. The atmosphere in all of them, I think, will be buzzing.
Yeah.
But more so than anywhere, probably in Mexico, because that's a proper football country, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cities, 48 teams, never before have
It's
so
normally 32.
Yeah, they've expanded it, haven't they? So
There's going to be a lot more
You're going to get
teams.
teams in there now, like bloody,
Yeah, that are not good at all.
many nations competing.
Weren't they in it last year? Or they were definitely at Russia because they were in our group.
in Panama. But you're going to get teams like that who don't do anything in the group stage.
No, I know, yeah.
For the ultimate prize in world football. For the initial group stage, teams will compete in 12 groups of 4 teams, with the top 2 in each group, plus the 8 best third-place teams progressing. For the first time, the round of 32 will be introduced, which is sure to dial up the knockout.
So literally,
That's going to be 2 group stages,
what do you mean?
isn't it? You're going to get...
What are
So
you
the
talking
round of
about?
32...
Yes, we start with 48 teams, and then half of them go through, but then the third places that are doing the best up until 32
So
teams
you've got
go through.
the round of 48...
No,
right.
the round of 48, that's just the group stage.
That's the group stage. But then after you go through from that group stage, then it knockout
Yeah,
to 32.
yeah. The round of 32 will be knockout.
Yeah, 48, and then it goes into knockout. Okay. Right, I see.
Knockout stage drama in 2026. 3 group stage and 5 knockout matches. 8 games will stand between one nation and football history. An unprecedented...
There's always 3 group stage matches.
3 group matches, yeah. I misunderstood what he was saying. I thought he was saying 3 group stages. So you go from one group to another group, and I'm like, that can't be right. You don't want 3 groups.
You just play 3 games in the group stage.
100 games playing. Yeah. Go on to winter.
104 matches across 3 countries sound complex, but FIFA has developed a schedule which places players and fans first. By geographically grouping the host cities, most teams and their supporters will make shorter journeys and should not have to travel coast to coast. A principle of 3 days between matches allows players to recover, whilst fans can attend games in multiple cities, leaving the FIFA World Cup fan experience to the full. History will be made on the 11th of June when the iconic Estadio Azteca in Mexico City kicks off the tournament, becoming the first stadium to host 3 FIFA World Cup opening matches. A day later, the eyes of the world shift north, as on the 12th of June, it'll host its first ever men's FIFA World Cup match.
You don't think it's going to be one of them things like in the USA when they don't let like people from certain countries in?
Well, you don't really...
Like Iranians and Saudi Arabians and stuff. Because I know someone that literally isn't allowed to go to the USA because he's been to Afghanistan.
Who?
Some YouTube guy.
I think if you've been to Afghanistan, you can still go to the USA.
Apparently not. I don't know.
Well, these countries I've been to, where I get questioned when I've been, and they asked me, have you been to these countries? And I say, yeah. And they asked me what was the reason for being there, what was the purpose, but they let me in. But I think it's more the other way around of trying to get in countries where you need visas. Whereas to go to the USA, and countries like us don't need visas to get into the USA as a visitor.
Yeah.
We just get a 90-day visa. So I like to go in there, 90-day visitor visa, whatever you call it, 30-day. But I think Canada, Mexico, and USA are probably some of the easiest countries to get into for most countries. You know, if you're holding a bloody, you try and get into some of the Arab countries. If you're Jewish, for example, it's very difficult. Or trying to get into a Jewish country, try and get into Israel if you're Arabic.
Yeah, I guess it's probably the same anyway.
Same wherever you go. If you try and get in Pakistan from India, you know, there's always going to be challenges for certain countries to go visit other countries. But I think Canada, Mexico and USA are probably 3 of the easiest countries to get into globally. Maybe. I've never had an issue getting in there. I don't know.
In Toronto, and the USA gets the ball rolling in LA with the first FIFA World Cup match on home soil since 1994. The 3 hosts will play all their group matches on home turf. Get ready for FIFA World Cup like no other.
So Canada's just going to have to keep swapping between bloody Vancouver and Toronto. That's quite far away, unless they just play all of them in Toronto or all
Canada,
of them in Vancouver.
Yeah. It's easy for the teams to travel, obviously, because of the cost that goes with it for a fan. So for a fan to travel from Vancouver to Toronto is going to be quite a tough challenge.
I probably would imagine they'll just Canada will just do their first 3 games in either one of them.
Yeah, I think you might see a home nation, because what you want to do, you want to try and get your fans to see you. So if you're Canada, you want to try and do one in Vancouver, one in Toronto, because you're getting both. I wouldn't say, I know Toronto's not East Coast, but it's Eastern region, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if you can get into that, you want to get the whole country to be able to see you. And I'm thinking population of Canada probably, I imagine, is more around that Toronto area than there is in Vancouver. I'm not.
Yeah, you would have thought so.
I would guess at that.
Even the surrounding areas
as well. You've got upstate New York and all that sort of thing, Buffalo. So you've got all them sort of like areas where people might be interested to go and cross the border into Canada to go and watch it. But I think as a host nation, you've got to spread your team out playing in the USA. If you're an American team, you've got to play both coasts, and maybe one down in Miami or one, wherever.
Well, they said I don't think it's going to change for each team. Said they're going to get a region and then not move from that region.
I'm thinking that's more for the
all the other teams,
visiting teams, yeah. Because you want, if you're UK, if let's say for England, for example, we might be based in Boston, New York, and Philadelphia. That's easily sort of like.
No, Eastern. So if you play in Boston, you can still play in Miami. The next thing, it's still Eastern.
But as the fan to travel, it's easy for the team to travel, but for the fans not.
No,
so what they don't want is fans going. You don't want to go to a game as an England travelling fan. I don't want to go to a game in New York, then Guadalajara, and then Canada.
I know that. That's why they've put them in different regions.
Yes.
I'm saying Boston and Miami are still in the same Eastern region, so you could play a game in Boston. The next thing you were in Miami.
Yeah, but you're still flying a few hours to get and the cost of flying as a fan.
I know that.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's like you're like trying to go against me for something. I'm just letting you know as a fact.
Yeah, you're saying you can do it. Everything's doable.
No, I'm just saying that the teams will play in this different. Like you'll stick to the same region.
Yeah. So England will be based in New York.
However, the regions are still really big.
Oh yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. Like Toronto to Miami is a long way.
Yeah, no. But what I'm saying is Toronto to Miami. I don't think you're going to get the same team doing them both areas, unless it's the next round. So when you go to the knockout stage, you might have been based in New York as England, right? I'm going with what I know here. So I'm going England team goes over. I'm based in New York as a fan. All our games are in New York, Philadelphia, and Boston within that small vicinity. Then when we go through, or if we go through to the next stage, which is the knockout stage, and we have to play, I don't know, El Salvador, right? And they've been based in Guadalajara, right? Our next game might be in Vancouver.
Yeah.
So then the fans have to travel to Vancouver. I don't know how they're going to. I don't know. You can't really plan the knockout stage because you're going to get different teams from different areas competing against each other, aren't you?
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So it's once the group stage will probably be all together, and then the next stage is could be anywhere. I'm guessing. I'm not sure. I can't really base out where it was how it was going to work, unless you're grouped with certain areas. You can't all be grouped together. You'd have to play the same teams you've already played. But I guess it'd be one side of the group, another side of the group.
Yeah.
And it'd be fours.
There'll be multiple groups that play in the same region.
Yeah, but you don't want to be. I guess it's
There's only 3 regions. Or was there 4?
Yeah, I guess it's easy to work out because you just be playing the same people from your section of the group. So it's going to be busy though. 48 countries going. There's only one country that can do that. USA.
Well, what about Canada and Mexico?
I know there's 3 others, but it's going to be led by. Look how many venues are in at 16. What was the?
There's 5 outside the
5
USA.
outside. Yeah. So you got 11 venues in the USA, and but the USA can do it, and Canada can probably pick up. They're doing major events anyway with baseball, basketball, and stuff they do as well. And Mexico, they've got big football teams anyway. Yeah. So they'll be doing all that anyway. Mexico hosts the NFL.
The only like slight problem is the fact that it's so big.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a problem.
But they'll be regionalised, so they said it's for the fan.
Yeah,
so
they're trying to make it as easy as possible, but still.
Fan zones are going to be great over there though as well. Yeah. Compared to what I've seen for Qatar, there's no way I was going to Qatar to watch the World Cup.
But at least everything was like every single stadium was in this 10-mile radius.
Yeah, you can almost walk to every stadium. But at the same time though, that's not what you want. You want the World Cup. You want nations coming together as a massive event, and that will be probably the biggest World Cup ever.
Because it's actually different countries hosting it as well, so it's going to feel.
I think that'll be the biggest World Cup.
And I for me, the best World Cup I've seen is the one that happened in South Africa, and that was just vital. It needs to be hot.
Yeah,
it can't be.
It does
cold.
need to be a summer venue.
It needs to be a summer hot venue.
Yeah. Yep.
You need to have people with Brazilian face paint on. That's what makes it looks like the World Cup.
Yeah, that's what brings it home. Them images, isn't it? But this isn't the first time dual countries have hosted it. Korea and Japan hosted it, didn't they? Yeah. They sort of joint hosted. But I think it'll be the best World Cup that's ever been. Because North America know how to host sport, and it's a sporting region, and that's the main thing. And it's not only a sporting region; it's a sporting region where they compete on the highest level.
Yeah.
So it's full of sports fans. It's full of sports people.
How well do you think the USA will do?
I think on home soil with the crowd behind them, they could probably do well. It's I think you could probably. There's no reason they couldn't reach echelons of quarterfinals, semi-finals, even a final. They're not far. They're not. USA are not that far away.
Yeah, I don't think they'll get past the quarterfinals though. I can't see that.
When you get to the quarterfinals and you're talking the last 8.
Everyone said the same thing about them in the last World Cup, really, didn't they?
But when you get to the last 8 top teams in the world, which usually transpires, you might get the odd team that get through who are decent, but they get a little bit of luck going on their way because it's knockout football. At the end of the day, you need a little bit of luck as well. You're coming up against your Brazil,
I hope they do well.
Argentinas, your Italy's, your Hollands, your Englands. The top teams of the world that have got they've got rich histories in competition of playing soccer. But I think these teams that you never know. Teams like you could see a Uruguay pop up.
Uruguay are a decent.
That's
team.
what I'm saying. They've got history as well. But they're not known as them top teams anymore. They sort of faded away a little bit. But they're still capable. Some African teams are absolutely superb.
Yeah, Uruguay have won the World Cup.
I know they have. But what I'm saying is, you look at over the last period of the last 25, 30 years, Uruguay haven't been that force that they used to be.
They've not there yet, but they've produced them players and always been a threat in the World Cup.
They've always got top players. They've got top players now. You look at some of the Uruguay players that sort of like
Darwin Núñez.
They've got some top world class players.
Valverde.
So is the USA. You look at the USA. They've got some world class players. They've got some top players. Serginho Dest, I think, is a great player. I think well underrated. You look at people like Claudio Reyna, but whether these people will be there in 2026, there'll be people coming through as well. It's only 2 years away, just over 2 years away for the World Cup, and you've got plenty of time for new players to sort of like develop and come through for that World Cup. But you've got some top players, and it's we've got the golden era coming back up again with the UK, with England.
England's got a very good squad.
We've got some very young, very very good young players.
I think at the time in 2 years it'll be the best squad at the World Cup.
Could be. But then again, you look at Italy, Germany. You could have Spain. Even Italy, Mexico on home soil.
Are Italy even qualified?
Well, I don't know, but it's no one's qualified yet, have they?
What?
So apart from the host nations, probably. There's no the World Cup qualifiers.
Italy will be one of them that just don't end up qualifying or something.
Well, it's they didn't last time, did they?
It's the Euros first anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Euros coming up this year. No, next year. Yeah, this year.
2024 Germany.
Yeah, this year Euros, and then they go to the World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah, so focus on the
with
Euros.
With 48 teams now going in, you expect all the top nations to qualify.
No, because it's still going to be the same amount of teams from like Europe and stuff.
You think you're going to get more African teams and more Asian teams? Is that what it's going to be?
Probably.
Yeah. Interesting, but I'd say it's definitely something to look forward to, because it's definitely something that's on my radar to go to.
Yeah.
It's not on the radar. I'm going. Even if I have to go and not be able to go and watch an England game, I'm going. But I don't want to take someone's ticket, like I say, who's there for their nation. But even if it's a group stage against, Senegal against bloody Bolivia,
you going?
I'm going. Yeah. But anyway, there you go. Let us know what you think. Is 48 teams the right thing to do for the World Cup? I think it's too many, personally.
Well, I
think the 32 format was good enough. I don't think we need shit games.
Yeah, I agree.
It's true. It's just so I try to accommodate a lot of people who.
It's nice to have more countries in it though, because it is the World Cup and you want like more countries.
Yeah, it's the event.
And no one watches the qualifiers.
You want the World Cup to have as many for the event, but at the same time,
as the World Cup actually goes on for 2 years, it's only the finals that everyone watches.
Yes, but are you going to stay up? Are you going to stay up till 5 a.m. to watch Egypt against
Equatorial Guinea,
Paraguay? You know what I mean? You're not, are you?
No, I'm not.
But there you go. Anyway, let us know what you guys think. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.